So here we are. It's the 15th of January, 2 weeks into the new year, and we're still currently going through a national lockdown. We're all in tier 4s, so it is quite an unusual time. People are feeling really fatigued, dejected, depressed, and it's people are thinking, how do we get through this? How do we pull through this? Yesterday, the day before, it was a record number of deaths. I think 1,500 people died of coronavirus, and then maybe I think 1,300 yesterday. So the figure's going up and up and up. So we don't know what the hell's happening really. All we know is that we're in the shit at the moment. So I thought I'd just do a little Friday afternoon reflection. Probably for the last few months I've been going out on a Friday and just reflecting on the week, and I do that. I normally buy 4 cans of beer and I'll go and sit on the beautiful countryside around me and just have a beer and reflect, because the pubs are shut. Normally this time on a Friday I'd be walking into town and having a few beers, meeting my friends. Can't do that anymore. So I always like to reflect on what's been achieved. Mental health motorbikes going from strength to strength, and I think the beauty at the moment is we've managed to get a really strong team of moderators in place. 14 moderators, really tuned into what the group's about, and yeah, the support that's coming out for our members is exceptional, really impressive. And we've just started this support bubble. So the whole idea of the support bubble is to get the negative the cameras just fell on the floor. I think the ice was melting, it got bored. I'm trying to rest it on. We'll try again. Yeah, so where were we? Support bubbles. The support bubbles, really interesting idea. It was one that I was thinking about because we've been using Slack. And I was thinking the locked channels on Slack, quite interesting. You can throw people into them. Nobody else can see what's in there. So I thought, let's experiment. So we got one guy that was in a really bad way. He needed immediate help. So I thought, create a link on Slack, get 3 of our team in there, and let's just see what happens. So the principle is, you've got one person that leads the conversation. They're a mental health first aider, but sometimes they're not very confident. They're not, sort of always up to speed on what to say. I've got a little bit more experience because I've been doing this for the last 20-30 years with the work that I do. So I tend to sit in the background observing the conversations, but I can instant message the first aider and say, maybe you need to think about this. Throw that into the conversation, ask this sort of question, do it in a very sort of caring and sensitive way, and people will generally sort of react to it. And that's been really helpful to the person facilitating the conversation. We also explain really from the beginning there's a level of confidentiality that's in that group. Nothing will be taken outside of that group without the person's permission. So yeah, they feel secure that they've got a little support. And then the third person in the group is a mental health first aid. Well, it's an emergency nurse. She's a nurse practitioner, worked in A&E for many, many years, and she's incredibly supportive of the group. So she will sit in all of the conversations, and then if we've got any problems, she will be there to sort of pick up it, discussion from a medical point of view. So that's working really well. She's also there to support me, and she's there to support the first aider. So if we need a time out, we can always get that from our third person. So the bubbles are working very effectively, and what the aim is to try and give a couple of weeks support to the individuals in the bubbles, and then we'll get them back onto the main group. By that time, they've got themselves to the doctors, they've got themselves some medical support. They realise that they're not alone, they're not dealing with this on their own. And that's the big thing for a lot of the mental health issues we're dealing with, is people are very socially isolated. They are on their own. So suddenly to have a dedicated support bubble and a group that's very caring and supportive, it means a lot to people. So very, very proud this week to have got that system up and running. We've offered 3 or 4, potentially 4 life-saving interventions, and a lot to celebrate really. So feeling all right at the moment. So I'm going to sign off. It's just a little short 5-minute update. Thanks to everybody and have a good week. Look forward to reporting back next week, see where we are. I might have a shave by next week. Look like bloody Father Christmas or some dubious sort of reprobate. Never been able to grow a beard. Alright, we'll speak soon.